Welcome back to Cactus Corp Plays Zero Escape VLR, Virtue's Last Reward. My name's Kevandre, and last time I took an inordinate amount of time getting through the lounge because I was very dumb and didn't notice something. So that's going to be boding well for the rest of the series, though all the same, I'm going to stick with it. Because I do really like this game. I just, maybe I suck at puzzles when I'm under pressure because I'm being recorded rather than just doing it at my leisure. So that should be fun. So yeah, we went through the lounge, then we met up with everybody else. We've got 2 hours until the next chromatic doors open, but we got the AB room keys, and we're going to find out how to get more BP right now from Bane the Bunny.
Namely, how do you get more BP?
We go into the AB rooms, right? Look. We've got some keys from them right here. Kay and Quark have 2 each, so we've got 6 altogether. But who goes into what room?
That doesn't really matter. Anybody can go into any room.
But there are only 6 rooms.
Didn't I tell you? The 2 members of a pair share the same destiny. Then you mean both members of a pair need to go into the same room? Yes.
What do we do after we go into the room?
Play a game. Just like it says on the door. You play the Ambidex game.
Wait, what's ambidex supposed to mean anyway?
I would guess it's short for ambidextrous. Most use the word to refer to the ability to use both of one's hands instead of favoring the left or right, but it can also be taken to mean someone who is duplicitous or two-faced.
It's a game of betrayal, then.
Well, yes, I guess you could put it that way.
Then what's the nonary game?
That refers to the whole enchilada. The nonary game is a game where you try to open the number 9 door and escape. The Ambidex game is just a mini-game you play as part of the larger one. Make sense?
Like hell, this shit is confusing.
Is it? Or is it just that you're just a few carrots short of a bushel? What do you think, B.O.?
You arrogant little bastard.
Well, that's just how I am, so you better get used to it. Now, could I have all of you move to the AB room, please? I'll give you more specifics once everyone's inside. I think it'll probably be easier to understand that way.
Kay, Quark, and myself each gave 1 card to Luna, Alice, and 10 Miyoji. Then we headed into the AB rooms. There wasn't really any discussion of who'd go into which room, and Fi and I found ourselves heading into the leftmost room. Bum, 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 bum. Looks like everybody else has gone in already. Think we should head in too? Why are you asking me? Just hurry and get in there. Okay.
An Ambidex gate has been opened. 45 minutes remain until the Ambidex game polling closes.
What? This game's got a time limit too? Holy shit. What? What the hell? Who is this? Fuck if I know. Look, it doesn't matter who she is. Just get everybody over here. Yeah, right. Hey, guys, get over here. We found someone. There's a lady over here. She's unconscious. I didn't wait for a response, just turned around and followed Fi into the room. We knelt down next to the woman and turned her over as gently as we could manage. All that greeted us was blood. She's covered in blood. I leaned down to listen at her mouth. Nothing. No breath. With shaking hands, I felt against her neck for a pulse. No movement, just cold skin. What the hell were you yet? What's going on here? Is she? Quark, don't look. Somebody get Quark out of here. Okay. Come on, Cork.
Then she's...
Yeah. She's not breathing, and I can't find a pulse. Her body's already cold, so I'm guessing she was murdered a while ago. Murdered? Does this look like an accident or a suicide to you? It looks like she was stabbed. Don't see a weapon around here, though. That means either the killer took it with them, or it was part of them. Part of them? Well, if someone was strong enough and they had metal hands, they might be able to stab someone in the heart.
What are you suggesting?
It's just a joke. Don't take it so seriously. Whatever. If we examine the wound, we'll probably get a better idea of what the weapon was. Let's get her to the infirmary. She might be old, but she's still a woman. If we're going to do an autopsy, she should have some privacy. Come on, boys, let's go. Dio, Kay, and I gingerly lifted the woman up and carried her to the infirmary. Perhaps he just didn't consider himself one of the boys, or maybe it was something else. But whatever the reason, Tenmyoji only stared. His whole body was rigid, like a rope pulled almost to its breaking point, but it was his eyes that caught my attention. He wasn't staring at us, not quite. It was more like he was staring toward us, a smoldering spark of something burning silently behind his gaze. It wasn't until we'd almost to the infirmary that I realized Tenmyoji hadn't spoken a single word since the moment we found the body. I turned to look back at him. He was following us at a distance, his breathing heavy and labored, and his movements slow and shuffling, as if his body was suddenly made of lead. The old woman's body was surprisingly light. Carrying her felt almost like carrying an old, dry piece of wood. We set her down carefully in the infirmary bed, as if we were afraid she might break. She looked so peaceful. Almost like she's just going to wake up at any minute now. Maybe she didn't suffer much when she died. Let's hope so. Anyway, I feel a little bad about doing this, but I think we need to examine her. You mean like an autopsy or something? Tenmyoji's gonna have me redo the report. I'm just gonna have a look at the wound. If we had a coroner, then that'd be a different story, but... What? I have a medical license. You're a nurse? No. You're a doctor? Well, I'm not exactly a coroner. Interesting. I guess you really can't judge a book by its cover, can you? Sorry. You don't need to apologize. Are you really going to perform an autopsy? Oh, I won't really be doing it. I think that machine over there is a medical scanner. It's called an ATOM. It uses nuclear magnetic resonance imaging to examine and diagnose people.
Oh yes, I remember.
Oh yeah? And how the hell do you remember that?
Because Alice Clover and I examined this entire room.
So you think you can use it to perform some kind of autopsy? Duh. I think I should be able to manage that. Luna ran the scanner over the body, then turned back to the terminal. The display filled up with text, most of it rather technical. Sex, female. Estimated age, 65 to 75 years. Diagnosis, deceased. Cause of death, exsanguination. Estimated time of death, 3 to 4 hours. Damage trajectory, weapon entered through 4th intercostal, piercing heart. Wound characteristics, wound margin clean, continuous. Wound angles, 1 sharp, 1 blunt. Wound cavity, 150 millimeters. Wound length, 30 millimeters. Wound width, 3 millimeters. Conclusion. Based on the characteristics described above, there is a 95% chance the wound was caused by a sharp, single-bladed instrument. Huh. Yeah, I don't really get it. What's it mean by instrument? Was she stabbed with a clarinet or something? It means a tool of some sort. A knife, probably. In other words, she was stabbed in the heart, right? Duh.
Well, I suppose that clears me of suspicion.
Sorry, but no.
Why? Please don't tell me you think my hand can somehow turn into a knife.
I told you that was a joke.
Then why am I still a suspect?
We found the old lady in one of the AB rooms, specifically the one farthest to the left. Before we went in there, only 2 people had been in that room. You and Clover. Only one of you was conscious.
Fi, please, stop joking around. I assure you there was no one else in that room besides Clover when I woke up. She must have been put there later.
But the door was locked, right? I don't think anyone could have gotten in without the key.
Perhaps, but there was a hatch on the ceiling, remember?
Duh, there was. But Zero said he'd locked all the hitches. Well, if he was telling the truth, nobody could have gotten in there after you 2 left. Which means... You fucking bastard! Why'd you kill her, Kay? I knew it! You're him, aren't you? You're the real Zero!
Wait a minute, please. Just calm down. You aren't making sense. Let's suppose I am Zero. Why would I do something that would obviously cast suspicion on me?
Well, because you figured we'd think that, and you would throw us off the trail by doing the exact opposite.
That's not a logical argument. Still, you do have at least half a point. Your argument doesn't confirm my guilt, but it does show us where we should be looking, the real Zero. The person who brought us here is likely the person who murdered that woman. Doesn't that seem like the most reasonable answer?
I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. If Zero was the murderer, then we could open anything he wanted to. I mean, didn't Zero say something about that?
I live in the master computer. That means all the electronic doors in this whole world are under my control. Exactly. Also, consider this. If the murderer isn't Zero, why would the AI Zero stay silent? He told us that his job was to make sure the game ran smoothly. But now the unexpected has happened and he says nothing. Why would he do that? If he can see everything we do, then he must know who killed the old woman. So why has he kept his silence? The answer is simple. The murderer is Zero, or rather, Zero Senior, I suppose you could say. He likely ordered Zero Junior, the AI, to keep his identity hidden. If Zero Junior told us about the murder, then Zero Senior's identity would be compromised. There is something else to consider as well. Perhaps this murder was not unexpected. Zero Senior murdered her. Just as planned, death is only another part of the game.
Killing someone is part of the game to him?
Well, there's no way to know for sure, but I would assume so. "10 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes. All players, please enter your votes. If no vote is recorded before the deadline has passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally."
Whoa, what was that? I don't know. Well, one thing's for sure. And that is? If we don't go vote, something bad's gonna happen.
You see, just as I said. Zero Junior ensures the game continues even though someone has died. All of this is part of Zero Senior's plan.
Let's get back to the warehouse. If we all head to the AB rooms, maybe we'll see Zero Junior. After all, he told us he'd give us specifics once we'd gone in. We're really going in there? I kind of don't want to. I mean, there was a dead lady in there just a few minutes ago. Huh? Wait. Fi, where'd you go? Up here. Up? Whoa! What the hell is she doing? You must be really desperate to get high. Seriously, that's the best you can do? I was expecting something about how I'd jump at the first sign of trouble. Whatever. What are you up to up here anyway? Everybody's already gone to the AB rooms. Yeah, well, there was something I wanted to check out. And that is this thing. Remember it? The hatch? Try opening it. No luck. It won't budge. Then that means the AB room is locked down tight. No one could get in. You're talking about whoever killed that old lady, aren't you? Yeah. You still think it's K, huh? Well, like Clover said, if Zero Senior is the killer, then it wouldn't matter if we could open this hatch or not. I know. I just wanted to be sure.
5 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Let's go. I imagine Algernon's waiting for us. He's a rabbit. Look, there's something on the screen. Yeah, you're right. The Ambidex game will now begin. To enter your vote, please touch the start button on your screen. Once you have entered your vote, this door will lock automatically. It will not open again until the polling period has finished. Well, looks like there's no going back now. Astute observation.
Hooray! Everybody is finally here. I've been waiting for a girl like you.
So have we! We've got some questions for you, Zero. Who was that old
Ah! Will all of you please stop bombarding me with questions?
Oh.
The other people in the other rooms are asking me stuff just like you are, Siggy. I guess you can't hear them since these rooms are completely soundproof, but B.O. is especially loud. For real, B.O., I need you to shut up. There isn't much time. I gotta hurry and explain all the stuff, but the game will end before I'm done. So, no more questions from now on. No answers from anybody, okay? You'll just have to wait. Now, let's get this party started. Let me tell you about the AB game. Since it's a game, you're obviously going to have an opponent. But it's not like this is a battle royale where you just get to fight everybody. Each round will be a one-on-one battle, mano a mano, or mano a mano. Well, there are 2 people in each pair, aren't there? So it'll be more of a 2-on-2 battle, I guess. Now, fine. Now, I imagine you'll all be wondering who your opponent is going to be. It's actually really easy. You'll be competing against whoever you paired up with to go through the chromatic doors. For example, Siggy and Fido paired up with Mooney and went through the magenta door, didn't they? That means that Siggy and Fido will be playing against Mooney. And it goes the other way, too. Mooney's opponent will be Siggy and Fido. Obviously, that means Potassium and Cleaver's enemy will be Alas.
Potassium.
And Dio Work's enemy will be Ten the Oldie. Well, I guess enemy isn't really the right word, is it? After all, if you choose ally, then you'll be your ally. What? Don't get it? Well, don't worry, just listen while Zero the Third explains it all. First, I want everybody to focus on the screen of the device in the back of the room. You should see A, ally, or B, betray on it, do you? All you guys have to do is pick. Just pick one of those easy options. Your BP will go up or down depending on what you pick. It's a little complicated, and some of you are a little slow, so I made this handy chart. The plus and minus are from your point of view. So let's say you choose ally, and so does your opponent. You'll get 2 BP, and so will they, and you'll all get a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling inside. We call that the best pals outcome. Just puts a smile on your face, doesn't it?
That's the wrong comic book villain.
Next is when you get to choose ally, but your opponent chooses to betray. If that happens, you lose 2 BP, and they get 3. We call that the stupid jerk face outcome. Somebody did that to me, I'd skin 'em and stew 'em with some taters.
What's taters, eh? Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew.
The third choice is the opposite of that. It's when you choose betray, but your nice innocent opponent chooses ally. This time, you're the one who gets 3 BP, and they're the one who loses 2. We call that the serves them right outcome. I mean, what were they thinking? Choosing ally was a stupid choice, and there's nothing for you to feel guilty about. And finally, the very last scenario, this is where you choose betray, and so does your opponent. If that happens, neither of you gets or loses anything. Absolutely zero change in BP. Ugh, boring. We call this the why even bother outcome. As the game master here, this is the situation I want to avoid the most. You're probably wondering about the pairs, aren't you? Well, let me explain. Remember how I told you that both people in a pair share a destiny? Well, that applies here too. The two of you only get 1 vote. You get to choose once between ally or betray. That doesn't mean you split your points, though. You both get 3 points or lose 2 points or whatever. In other words, what you see on this chart is what you get. Okay then. I think that about does it for the basic rules. Well, actually there's a little bit more, but that'll just have to wait, I guess. After all, it's almost time.
Hey, wait. No.
I won't wait and I can't wait. Didn't you hear me? It is time.
Ding ding.
1 minute remains until Ambidex game polling closes.
You see, it's time for me to be hopping on out of here. See you later. Have a nice trouble.
We don't have time to talk about this. Choose betray. What? You're kidding. You really want me to betray Luna? We don't know if she'll ally or not. If we choose ally and she chooses betray, we're screwed. That's a loss of 2 points. You tell me, Sigma. What's 3 minus 2? What kind of idiot do you think I am? It's 1, obviously. Exactly. If our BP gets down to 1, it's over. So, wait, what do you mean it's over?
30 seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Just press the damn button. You're hiding something. Yeah, you've been suspicious from the get-go. I mean, how'd you know my name? Or how about when we found that old lady's body? You didn't even blink. Almost like you knew she would be here. Look, I don't want to believe it, and are you... Fine. If you won't do it, then I... Don't think so. I'm not going to move until you give me some answers. If I don't do anything, it'll just vote ally for us anyway. So let's hear it. What are you hiding? What's "it's over" supposed to mean?
10 seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
I don't know why the announcer became Phi in a cup, but it did.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
When your BP hits 0, you die. That's what I meant.
1.
Okay. So we're going to be going all of the routes throughout, but I'm going to not betray Luna because I would feel like shit if I did that. We'll have to feel like shit later. Vote has been recorded. Please wait.
Round 1 of the Ambidex game has been completed. Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation. Ambidex gates now opening.
As Phi and I stepped out of the AB room, I could see the others running toward the monitors, shoving and pushing to get closer. Tenmyuji was left behind, his footsteps a slow, heavy plod. What had happened to make him like that? What was that, Sigma? Huh? Don't play dumb. You chose ally. Didn't you hear me? I told you that if your BP drops to 0, you die. Yeah, I heard you. A whole second before the deadline. How can you expect me to think anything through that quick? It would have taken like half a second just to process what you said. No, you could have done it. The brain's processing power increases during a crisis. It starts working so fast that a second can seem like an eternity. Your brain was doing that right before time ran out, wasn't it? Well, am I wrong? What the hell are you talking about? Okay, fine. Let's be generous and say, hypothetically, that you're right about this crisis overclocking thing. How would you know whether or not my brain was doing that? Did you crack open my skull while I wasn't looking? You just wedge a microscope in there and have a look at my neurons? Let me be straight with you. Your shit is whack. Like, hella whack. I mean, you just know stuff you shouldn't. Stuff like my name, or how if your BP hits 0 you die. You told me you didn't know why, but more and more I'm starting to think you've been lying to me.
Yo, what's up, bitches? West Side, Gotham. Sege, Fido! Hey, what are you kids doing over there? We're about to announce the results.
Let's go. Time to see what the results are. Maybe it's different this time. Huh? This time? Hey, Fi, hold on. Shit.
Good. Looks like you're all here, finally. Let's get ready to rock. Ambedex game! Round 1. The results. If everybody would please direct their eyes to this monitor.
I agree. Rude. Good. Betraying your own grandpa. Very rude.
Here are the results from your game. Now let us check the numbers on our bracelets.
Thanks, Luna.
Oh, yet it's nothing. You don't have to thank me. I only did what anyone would have done. I believed in you and Fi.
When Luna glanced away, I threw Fi what could only be described as a smug grin. Rather frustratingly, she didn't respond, only turned away unperturbed. I was about to press the issue when I heard Tenmyuji's voice.
Cork! What happened? No, it wasn't me. Mr. Dio tricked me. He told me he'd pick Ally. He promised. That's why I let him do the voting.
Is this true, Dio? You serious? This kid's full of shit.
What?
I didn't do squat. Quark was the one who decided how we were going to vote. You want to know what he told me?
You just leave the voting to me, Mr. Dio. Grandpa's gonna choose to ally for sure, because I'm his opponent on this one. I think we should betray. To be honest, I'm kinda getting tired of that grumpy old bastard. He's had a good life, but it's time for him to go. What do you say we leave the old fart here and leave? I've got a plan, see? Don't worry about me. I'll just tell him you tricked me. He'll believe whatever I tell him. Besides, if he still trusts me, that'll make it easier to use him again later. What do you say, Mr. Dio? Pretty good plan, huh? Alright, let's do it. You're lying! I never should have trusted you! Dio, you're a lying jerk!
Sure, kid, keep whining, see if I care.
Grandpa, you believe me, right?
Don't let this brat fool you, old man. All of this is just part of his plan.
You bastard! I'm not gonna let you get away with this.
That's enough, Quark.
Don't lose your temper. How long have I known you? I could be deaf and blind and I'd still know if you were lying to me.
Really? Heh, you're just as gullible as he said you'd be. Hook, line, and sinker. Let me give you a little warning, Tenmyuji. That little shit is a hell of an actor. I'll bet you money he's a born con man. I don't know what he is to you, but if I were you, I'd trust this kid as far as I can throw him, and at your age, that can't be much. You hearing me, old man? Keep an eye on him.
It's alright, I understand. I'm so sorry.
I apologize. This is very unfortunate.
It looked as though another argument had taken place while Cork and Dio were fighting. Whatever it had been about, it appeared to have resolved itself. The past is the past, there's no point complaining about it. I'll just have to try and get those points back in the next AB game. Zero, when does the next round start? Oh.
What makes you think we'll be having another round?
Well, you said round 1. If there's a round 1, then there's likely a round 2.
Besides, didn't you say the goal of the AB game was to get 9 BP? That's impossible without a second round. Yeah, I guess you got a point. Alright, there will be a second round.
When?
I don't know.
Why not?
The voting happens when an AB gate opens.
They're already open.
Right you are, Ken. So let me just close them.
The Ambidex gates have closed. Round 2 of the Ambidex game will be the Moon round. Moon cards will be required to open the gates.
Moon cards. Does this mean we can't use these cards now since they've got suns on them?
Yes, indeed. Now you'll have to look for cards with moons on them.
So, how many times do we play the AB game?
I don't know. As many times as you need to? It's anybody's guess how long it'll go, but I plan on keeping this party going until somebody opens the number 9 door.
So it's over when someone gets 9 BP?
Nope. Fuck. Nope. As long as that person doesn't open the number 9 door, the game goes on. Of course, you could get stuck just below 9 BP, where everybody just keeps going back and forth, winning and losing points. After all, if there's nobody with 9 BP, the door can't open. If that happens, then you'll just have to continue on to round 3, and round 4, and round 5, round 100, round 200, you might even go all the way up to round 24,009,004,897. Although I really, really hope it doesn't come to that.
Hey, can I ask you something? I don't know,
Can you?
There's rules about who can go into the secondary doors, right? Like, you have to have 3 people exactly.
Yeah, so?
Well, what about the number 9 door? Are their rules the same?
Nope. There aren't any rules about how many people can go through that door. It could be 1 person, or 2 people, or even all 9 of you. There is one thing though, Siggy. All that stuff about how you have to have 3 people to go through the secondary chromatic doors, maybe it's not 100% true.
What? What do you mean?
Well, you can open the door with just 1 or 2 people if you want.
That's not what you told us.
Well, I didn't want to make things complicated. Then explain it now. Just use the bracelets.
What? How?
There's a sort of scanner between the 2 doors. It checks to see if the right people are going through. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's scanning the people.
So, it's scanning the bracelets then?
Ding ding ding! As long as the scanner sees the right combination of bracelets, it doesn't matter how many people there are.
But, wait, hold on a minute. Do these things even come off?
Oh yes, they do indeed.
Then how do I take it off?
Well, there's 2 ways. The first is to get through the number 9 door and escape. As soon as you're out, the bracelet unlocks all by itself.
What's the second way? Hey, Zero, wake up, will you? What's the second way?
Oh, B.O. I think you already know.
What?
Do you really want to get rid of that bracelet?
Of course I do.
Oh, well, I see. It's easy. Nothing to it, really. You die. Here's an exciting fact. Your heart creates a bunch of faint electrical impulses. You know what an electrocardiogram is, right? Technically, it's a machine that graphs the electric current flowing across the myocardium, but you probably know it as the thing in the hospital with a little light that goes beep, 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 beep. when somebody dies on a TV show. Anyway, the point is that you can detect the electricity that your heart makes by pumping blood. Your fancy little bracelets pick up on that. They're always watching. So when that signal goes away...
A lock on the bracelet releases?
Yep. So there you go, the second way. Your heart stops and your bracelet comes off. Apart from that, there's no other way to get the bracelets off. If you try something harebrained, like trying to break them or something, you'll be disobeying the rules. I don't think I need to remind you what happens when you do that. But if you're lucky, you might get to see a few of them come off during the next round. Whoops! I guess it's not going to be very lucky for some of you, huh?
Next round?
Yep.
What do you mean?
Well, do I have to explain everything? Somebody might die during the next round of the AB game. There, that's pretty clear, right? If I had to guess, I'd say it was going to be 10 Mildy or alas, one or the other. Or it might be both of them.
What? Why am I going to die?
Well, I guess I could tell you why. Anyone whose BP drops to 0 gets penalized, just like when you break the rules. I'm pretty sure I told you that already, what the penalty was.
You mean the needles in our bracelets are going to activate and we'll die?
Correct, Ziggy. Full marks.
So, if I had been right. But how had she known before Zero told us? Because it was pretty obvious, Sigma? I see. Alice and I only have 1 BP. That means we have to have less than 0 if we lost 2 points. What? What the hell? This is important stuff. Why didn't you tell us this earlier?
Sorry.
Sorry's not going to cut it. I thought you were supposed to tell us the rules, not hide them.
Well...
Is there anything else you've conveniently left out? It's not fair to make people play a game without explaining all the rules.
I think it's fair. After all, it's not like anybody else knew. Right? Right, Fido?
Yeah. I guess so. I took a moment to go over everything in my head. The AB game would continue until somebody opened the number 9 door. There was no rules about how many people could or couldn't pass through the number 9 door. That meant it was possible for everyone to escape. The secondary chromatic doors could be opened by any number of people as long as you had the right bracelets. The bracelets would only unlock under 2 conditions: if you left the building or if your heart stopped. If your BP hit 0, the needles in your bracelet would activate, killing you.
Oh, one last thing. The next set of chromatic doors you'll be going through are downstairs. You already saw them, right? There should have been 3, red, blue, and green. That means that to get through you'll need bracelets in cyan, magenta, and yellow. But wait, you've already got those bracelets. Have a look. The color's changed, hasn't it?
Yeah, it did change. Mine changed from red to cyan. Me too. Mine's cyan now. Mine too. Wait, I guess the colors weren't the only thing that changed. It switched from pair to solo. You're right. Mine switched from solo to pair.
Mine is now a solo as well.
Looks like mine's changed too. I've gone from solo to pair. I'm still a pair.
The 3 of us seem to be magenta now as well.
I'm yellow, and it still says solo. Fi, you and Dio are yellow now too, da? Yeah. Looks like I'm a pair. When did they change?
Back when the AB gates closed. As soon as the gates close, your colors get all shuffled up automatically. The pair and solo assignments hop around a bit too. And because it's totally random. No rules or anything. Now, with all of that explained, I must bid you adieu. Sadly, we may never meet again.
What?
Well, there's not really anything for me to facilitate anymore. I mean, you guys are good from here, right? I'll never see you guys again. Did you really think I was going to cry? Suckers! As if I'd cry over you dummies.
What the? You fucking dick!
You mad? Anyway, good luck.
Keep in mind that this game came out in like 2012, so you mad was still very, very common.
I may be gone, but I'm always watching. Maybe I'll see you again someday. Have a nice tragedy.
That little piece of shit. If I could get just my hands on that little fucker, I'd squeeze him till he popped. That sounds gross. I don't really want to think about that. So, what happens now? We've still got a while until the chromatic doors open. Yeah, looks like about 42 minutes. We should go and see if we can find any other exits. Maybe there's a vent or a disposal chute or something. If there's a chance Zero missed something.
I concur. There's no point in standing around. We lose nothing by looking, and if we find nothing, we can always return and go through the chromatic doors.
Let's split up. 5 minutes would give us a good half hour or so. Let's meet in front of the chromatic doors 5 minutes before they open then. Any objections? There were none. After some nods and mumbling, they split up and moved off to investigate. I was the only person who stayed behind. Damn. How the hell did I end up here? Why? Why me? Try as I might, I couldn't think of anything I'd done that could have landed me in Zero's game. I hadn't pissed anyone off, at least not this bad. I didn't owe anybody money, and my family certainly wasn't rich. If anybody was hoping to get a fat ransom payout for me, they were going to be very disappointed. Obviously, I wasn't some kind of genius, nor was I an Olympic athlete, and I certainly hadn't been chosen by God to fulfill some great purpose on this earth. Well, at least if I was, I didn't know it yet. Had I started a fight with a frightening and mysterious new religion? No. Had I hacked into some terrorist group's server? No. Had I witnessed an assassination? No. Had I gotten wasted and had a one-night stand with the mistress of a prominent politician? Well, yes. But it was just that one time. And she was the one who went after me. Anyway, I was just an ordinary college student. If there was a reason I'd been abducted and put in the nonary game, I sure couldn't see it. Why was this happening to me? I thought back to what I'd been doing right before I was taken. The memories were still a little blurry, but they were there. Alright, and we're going to call it here. Next time we'll get into this backstory a little more. So, yeah, this is an exciting episode. I was not about to betray Luna on our first time in the AB rooms, because Luna is a good girl. But yeah, so next time we'll get some backstory and then hopefully go through a chromatic door. So my shout out this time is going to go to our Luna, the voice actress Laura Bailey, who is in all sorts of stuff. Man, she's the original English voice of Lucina. She was Shin-Chan in an amazing, amazing performance that you would never guess was her. And also in this game, it's Laura Bailey, but you wouldn't really know it. She kind of does like this Mercedes thing from Three Houses, where she kind of does her voice way more high-pitched, and so I don't really notice that it's Laura Bailey. So it's really interesting. But yeah, she does a great job in this and literally everything she's ever done. Recently, she's been in the news because she played Abby in The Last of Us 2, and for some reason people are sending her death threats because they don't like that character. I'm like, yes, that's a reason to send death threats to a voice actor, is because you don't like their character. Go fuck yourselves, dudes. She deserves every bit of love that she has, and she's a wonderful lady. But yeah, alright guys, we'll see you next time. Later, please.